What education is needed to be a tattoo artist? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the basic requirements you're going to need before you can get into the amazing industry of tattooing. Well, right out the gate, I'm sorry, young people, you got to be at least 18 to get into tattooing professionally. Now, I will admit, I definitely tried to get into tattooing a lot younger. Personally, the first time I ever saw a tattoo at the age of 12, I was hooked. I knew I wanted to do tattoos, and I kind of tried to do them dangerously and learned that you do not want to get tattooed at someone's house. Do as I say, not as I do, as our parents would say. I even tried to get into tattooing at the age of 16, but you're not legally allowed to tattoo until you're 18, even with a worker's permit. Now, in virtually every state, city, or county, you're going to have to go get that bloodborne pathogens, first aid, and CPR training. Now, this is foundational. You can utilize this information for so many aspects of life, but it's so important in a tattoo studio. Bloodborne pathogens teaches you, well, how to not get people sick, how to mitigate infections, and how to disinfect and sterilize your tools and areas properly. First aid's so important because there are times when people freak out and, well, pass out, fall, hit their head, or go into a fit of seizures. And you want to make sure you know what you're doing then. And you want to make sure you don't freak out as well. And then CPR. Yeah, no one wants to make out with a stranger, but hey, wouldn't it feel great to be able to save a life, especially if it's your client? Now, depending on your area, there could be different requirements to get into the tattoo industry. And one that just stands out to me is the state of Oregon. They're one of the few states that require you to have college credits before you even apply to a tattoo school. And that's the only way you can become licensed in that state, is you've gone through an accredited tattoo school. Now, they will not let you in there until, well, you're at least 18 and you've got those bloodborne pathogens, first aid, and CPR certifications. What other education are you going to require? Well, here, like in the state of New Mexico, and a lot of different states, as well as the majority of the tattoo industry requires, you to go through some form of accredited apprenticeship program. Now, this is where you're going to pair up with a mentor or a sponsor and someone that's going to teach you all the foundations of tattooing, from the initial history of tattooing, helping you through the drawing basics, all the way to the execution of tattooing. Now, some will require an accredited licensed mentorship, or a sponsorship, as we call it in the state of New Mexico. So a sponsor is going to have to, well, take you under their wing and get you licensed as an apprentice. And then they're going to have to submit a curriculum that needs to be approved by the state. Once you go through that approved curriculum, you're going to get a certification stating that you went through that proper training. But that's not all. Once you've completed that certification process, that apprenticeship, then you have to take a state-approved test where they're going to test all your knowledge of everything you learned over that time period. And just a heads up, a warning, most apprenticeships take at least 2 years, but I've seen them last up to 5 years. That all depends on how you learn and how quickly you absorb this information. So what education do you require? No, you don't have to have a high school diploma. No, you don't need to have college credits. But is it helpful? Yes. Definitely being able to be mindful of the world around you and having that basic education helps you have more in-depth conversations with your client. Do you require college credits? Not particularly, but if you could go to college and study some art classes, that's going to make your tattoos 10 times more better. And just so you know, if you're getting into the industry today, it's pretty dang saturated with very talented artists. So you want to make sure and step up your game. Beyond that, first aid, CPR, bloodborne pathogens, find that mentor who's willing to take you on that apprenticeship. Or if you're in the state of Oregon, go through that tattoo school. But those are all the bits you need, all the information and education you'll need to become a licensed professional tattoo artist.